Hello everyone and welcome to Boys to Planet episode 5 recap and review. As always, let's first go over what has happened in the fandom the past week. Easily the biggest topic is regarding Jaejoong and his comments to some of the Boy Story members. Now I'm actually really surprised Jaejoong ended up responding, and he did so a couple of times actually. You could definitely find the full response online, but in a very condensed version of it he basically claims to have been evil edited, and clarified that he had a long conversation with the members off-camera during the class test. He also claims to have just been echoing criticisms JYP has given them, which ... I don't know, that doesn't make it better, lol. Personally, like I said last week when the episode aired, I think his comments did deserve a level of criticism. Do I think he meant it with intense malice like many claim? No. When I watched the episode it definitely seemed like he meant it more lightly. But even when joking or meaning well, people are allowed to take it the wrong way because of course they should be. With that being said, the disgusting thing I found is the handful of people saying that JJ deserved the pain he faced in SM, that he should be locked up even longer, etc. And it's like, oh my god, you're disgusting, just utterly disgusting. Yes, I personally agree that experience, trauma and culture shouldn't be an excuse for hurtful behavior or words. I always say it's a reason or explanation but never an excuse. But wishing further harm on him is so. Like, what is going on in these people's heads? Alongside that, I also hated how some JJ shooters responded to it with, well, he was right, he's chopped ass, etc, etc. Like, you guys shut up. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to discuss more in the comments. Anyways, let's not be too negative and go ahead and begin the episode itself. First of all, here are the interim rankings. I think this is really math. This doesn't really feel like a Planet lineup, is it just me? I don't know, I don't hate it, but there's literally only one C trainee and I have to be entirely honestly, I don't recognize some of these people. Back to the actual episode. On Seong-woo announces the merge as well as the rankings. This ranking isn't vote-based but rather I think based on Mentor and like barely influenced by fancam views. Yoomeki is the trainee to be ranked first, with Sangwon in second. They have the Chinese contestants reveal their ranks one by one and I think that was so messed up now. Besides that, I know this have been a huge conversation in the fandom and that is Yi Chen ranking dead last. It just makes absolute zero sense. The only possible reason I can find is the chance of an improvement storyline, but, well, we'll get there. With that, the first mission is revealed as a one-on-one battle between classes. It's also revealed that in battles against the same class, for example 3-star versus 3-star, the winning team will get 100,000 extra points as benefit. In a 2-star versus 1-star battle, if the 1-star wins it'll be a 200,000 benefit. And versus a 3-star team, the 1-star group has a chance of a 300,000 point benefit. One team out of all competing will also get a chance to perform on M Countdown and Studio Chum. We then get the mission songs revealed. The songs are based off of the winners of the Best New Artists at the Mama Awards and I actually really like that there was a concept here. I thought it was neat, tens for that. For 2024 the song is Plot Twist by TWS. 2023 we have Kill the Romeo by ZB1. 2020 is Whiplash by aespa. 2018 is S-Class by Stray Kids. 2004 is Rising Sun by TVXQ. Teams are formed based on ranking, so for example Yoomeki, who is all-star and ranked first, gets to choose his team, etc, etc. Then the teams are allowed to choose their songs. Here they are. We then cut to the teams deciding on their leader. Beginning with Kill the Romeo Team 1, Zhang Hao heavily vouches for Suren. His argument is that Suren chose them so they should return the favor, which while not the strongest reasoning, it seems that Mnet is depicting Zhang Hao's action as negative to the team overall. Ultimately the role is given to Suren. Team 2 struggled a lot with distributing the parts, especially when it came to the main vocal position. When distributing the parts, Kristen recommends Chuu to be sub-rapper despite Chuu asking for a main role. Chuu agrees with the fact he doesn't necessarily fit the image but argues back that it's not fair to assign roles without even hearing them, which I completely agree with. Jongdin also wants to try out for main rapper and after a short audition Kristen decides on Chuu as main rapper. Jong Crossing then claims he wishes to go home, which is not the first time he says this, and oh my god, I feel so bad for him, like free him. We then jump to the plot twist assignments. During Team 1's segment there's focus on the fact that Din Long isn't really happy with the song choice. The leader role, which Din Long also applied for, is given to Hu Jun. Most of the team auditions for the killing part, including Din Long, who isn't really familiar with the song, and it's given to Hyun Jun. I can already see where this is going. Din is gonna get the J and Yooyeon edit. He also auditions for main rapper, which ends up going to Nyan Bohang, and Din Long is left with a really small part. Still, I don't think the edit depicts him as bitter but rather as more unfortunate, so rest assured evil editing has not yet started. Once again we move on to Team 2 with Lee Jang being announced as leader. Lee Jang praises Liu especially out of the members he chose for fitting the concept well. Anyways, the first parts to be chosen are rap, with Sanjeon being chosen as main, then Han Yoon is chosen as main vocalist and Woojin as sub. By the way, it's so insane how completely cut out Woojin is from the last couple episodes. Dude, please don't fucking play with me right now. As for killing part, Liu and Yi Chen are the ones to try out. For some reason they make Yi Chen look shady, but it's not necessarily one-sided because they also highlight Liu's lack in vocal skills. I have to be honest, Twitter made this sequence sound so much more shady than it was. I was expecting it to make him look like Satan. Yi Chen is ultimately given the killing part. We then jump to Rising Sun Team 1. Sun Hengyu is given the main vocalist part, which he kills at during tryouts. As for Team 2, Yusin and Zhang Fang try out for the part, which Yusin succeeds in getting it. Which I guess is a bad thing cause they make him seem annoying for practicing the high notes lol. As for S-Class Team 2, Min-jae is chosen to be leader. While deciding parts we cut to Team 1 who was already learning the choreography. During part assignment, Jaehyun is given leader, C1 main rapper, and Jaehyun main vocal, in who becomes insecure when it comes to rapping, which almost every vocal position has. Back to Team 2, Min-jae has all his members sing a particular part, and he ends up pre-deciding everyone's role. Okay, this is a crack theory, but I genuinely think Min-jae is acting like this on purpose to get eliminated. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. Last episode, when he said he just couldn't remember the lyrics straight to the judge's face, this episode, there's no way he doesn't know this will be edited in a bad light. To me it seems too over the top. He even pre-assigns himself the killing part. I don't know, does anyone else feel this way? I think he's doing it on purpose like Hyunjin during Mix 9. Finally, it's time for Whiplash's assignments. Team 1 chooses Sang-won as the killing part, and initially Yumeki chooses Yoonmin as the main rapper, but he switches it to Jeonwoo based on Leo's input. Angsan follows as the main vocalist and overall position assignment goes smoothly. With that finished, the teams meet and begin practicing in the same room. The first groups to perform are the S-Class teams. We cut to their rehearsals where Min-jae is pointed out to have most of the big positions of the group. The one-star interim check goes really bad. While Min-jae is agreed on to keep the killing part, there's concern for Hanwin's main vocal position. And this is the biggest problem for this team, because while Min-jae did have final say in the positions, no one else wants to take the part anyway. It gets to a point the mentors ask Min-jae to potentially reconsider switching the parts, but he ends up really focusing on Hanwin and helping him practice. Hanwin also practiced extensively, skipping lunch and other breaks, which I was genuinely really surprised they actually gave him a pretty positive edit, at least for this point. This easily could have gone another route, but in the end Min-jae decided to not change the roles and Hanwin even starts crying out of gratitude. Despite this, during rehearsal they're overall complimented for getting better, but Hyun Seo is asked to have a stronger stage presence and Min-jae is also critiqued for not switching the roles. And with that the final performance begins. Overall I thought it was pretty good, especially Min-jae, he's just so wow. And yes, I won't lie, it really was mostly Hanwin that made the obvious mistakes, but even with that the way Mnet edited it was so, I don't know, it made me so uncomfortable. Every single time he was on screen they'd make at least 3 cuts to someone else making a face. Audience members mouthing he can't sing, it was so excessive at some point. Anyways, I still think they did great and I'd say the MVP for me is easily Min-jae. I adore his performance style. After that we cut to the all-star team's practice. During practice I'd say the roadblock was in who's really out of it because of the positions. He's especially insecure with his rap and during the trainee evaluation he's chosen as the worst performer, while Jun Min is chosen as number 1 of the group. This really messes with his confidence, but his team, especially Kang Min, is able to work it back up and he begins to improve a lot. With that the final performance begins and like what's already been said, Jungmin was absolutely incredible. I thought the performance was amazing, just so good. Obviously they're hella glazed and I agree they deserve it. Anyways, Team 1 wins by a landslide and while they don't announce it officially, the most voted for trainee this round was Kim Jungmin with 139 votes as sub-rapper. The next groups to perform are the plot twist teams. First is Team 1, where Din Long really struggles during interim practices. He would stop performing midway because he couldn't remember the choreography. He is heavily called out by the mentors for this, and it really impacts his confidence. This is especially on top of him not getting any of the parts he tried out for. However, he gets a lot of help from Yunseok and they form this connection during practice. I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised how these two were basically the only two to be focused on. Not a single of the other trainees even got a spoken line. Anyways, the performance itself was a really pleasant surprise in many ways. Bowen and Yunseok's voice really stuck out to me. I think they fit perfectly. And wow, I did not expect Yunseok to do so great at this concept. Even the members I was a bit worried for, Nyan Bohang and Din Long, did great. Hyunjin also did amazing as center, but in my opinion I have to give my MVP card to Yunseok and Bowen. And with a small preview for what's to come up next episode, this week comes to an end. I have to say this is probably my favorite episode of the season so far. I thought it was great. The performances were so good there really wasn't one I would say was terrible whatsoever. Still, I don't feel hooked on the show. I don't know, I still haven't found a trainee I'm for sure gonna vote for once the voting pool shrinks, but we'll see. What are your thoughts on this episode? Feel free to share in the comments, and while you're at it, subscribe so you're up to date with everything Boys to Planet related. That's all, I'll see you guys next week.